Quitting is never an option.
There's never a failure unless you quit.
Never give up, never stop, never doubt yourself.
What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. I believe in you, and this channel is designed to be a part of your daily success routine. So today, let's learn one of the most common rules that successful people follow: don't quit. Also, if you want to learn what Tom Bilyeu, Eric Thomas, myself, and other entrepreneurs have to say about building unstoppable confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series, where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you a morning video for free to help you build your confidence. The link to join is in the description below.
You got to make a sacrifice. If you're going to get to the next level, you're going to have to give up something, right?
There's a gap between who people are and what they tell you they want to accomplish.
If you're doing work that you love, you're more likely to follow through. You're more likely to do it because it doesn't feel like work, because you love doing it.
I failed at so many businesses. I failed at 13 businesses.
13.
Wow. Before having what I quote unquote success, right?
So from 17 to what age did all
that was like
businesses
within 3 years.
So 3 years, 13 businesses,
Yeah, 13, all kinds of
all
ideas.
losses.
All losses.
Or lessons, yeah.
No, all losses. It's losses. Yeah, it was. And I maxed out my credit card. I lost all my mom's face savings.
Yeah, I heard that at one point too, you're almost over $100,000 in debt. $150,000.
$150,000 in debt.
And how old were you at that time?
20.
20 years old?
20 years old.
And that was just different loans from your mom, credit cards,
relatives, and my relatives, they wouldn't take my call anymore.
Yeah.
I just borrowed from everybody that I could.
Did you burn a lot of bridges at that time too?
I did. But I always promised them that just give me one more chance.
Right.
Let me try harder. And they believe in me, but they always thought I was kind of the odd one in the family.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why don't you just go get a job or do something like what normal people do?
Safe.
Yeah, safe, and do something. Like, why do you have to have these crazy ideas? Here's another idea of the mind, right?
Yeah.
And I just told them, hey, listen, if I were just to go get a job with I don't even have a college degree or anything like that, I would be making minimum wage. Listen, I'm now $150,000 in debt. If I was making minimum wage, it would take me forever.
Right.
To pay you off, to pay you back, and pay off all this debt, and to provide for my mom. So, like, people always look at what I do. Say, oh, you must be so motivated, Dan. It's not motivation. It was desperation.
Right. Yeah.
It was, I had no choice.
The transition's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. Go from being on the block, going to be a high school dropout, to getting a GED, the transition is not easy. In order for you to go from one level to the next level, in order for any woman to transition, for any man to transition, the thing that they want must be greater than the thing they currently have. You only go to another level when you on this level and you eating out of trash cans and you say, enough is enough. When you living in abandoned buildings in the winter and you say enough, you only transition from one level to the next when you tired of the level you on. You keep telling me this happened in your life and that's happened in your life and it's happened to everybody. You let your pain punk you. You let your pain make you quit. You think you special? You think you the only one? We all go through it. I'm just gonna get something out of mine. So you're gonna have to go through it just like everybody else. You're gonna have to pay the fare. Sweat, blood, tears. But guess what? When you walk across that stage, it's gonna have that much more meaning to it.
There's another kind of instinct that you need to be on the lookout for, and this one is a liar. This one is a saboteur. Well, this one is a backbiter. And like the devil himself, he's a shapeshifter. He's going to disguise himself and make you think he's got your best interest in mind. But he doesn't. This is the instinct that says, you've had enough. This is the instinct that says, you've given it your best shot. You can stand down. You can back off. You can take a knee. This is the instinct that says, you can rest now. Do not listen to that instinct. Do not listen. That instinct is a liar and wants to bring you down. That's the instinct that's a defense mechanism. It wants to give you an out, a place to run to, a little place of sympathy, an amnesty, a little place of amnesty where everything is forgiven, where all these failures can gather together in comfort and drown their sorrows in lies and in deception. And they tell each other. And they'll tell you, you did the best you could. No, they'll say the deck was stacked against you. And they'll say it's not your fault. And they'll tell you it's okay to stop. It's okay to settle. It's okay to give up. And that is the instinct you need to fight. You need to push back, to smash into the ground. Do not take the easy way out. Do not give up based on instinct. If you are forced to stand down, to retreat, so that you can rebuild and reattack, so be it. But make that decision based on logic, not on the instinct of surrender and defeat. And you need to train that instinct. Your instinct. Train it to say, get up, go, fight on. And if that is what you become, if that becomes your fundamental reaction to adversity, if that becomes your gut instinct, then you will overcome just about anything that stands in your path.
So I quit my job, comfy corporate job, doing really well for myself. And I'm trying to get into media, and so I'm writing to every big media company before my videos and saying, please give me a job. Like, I'll come in at like a video journalist salary. I was looking at salaries that like a quarter of what I made. I was like, I don't care about the money. I want to make videos and I want to spread a message. I'm getting rejection email after rejection email saying, Jay, you never studied media. Jay, you have no background. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting rejected by all the biggest companies. Business Insider, HuffPost, The Economist, Wired, you name it. I've got all the emails. And then I try and network with the editors of these magazines. So I find out where they are, I go to the events, I try and talk to them. And they're like to me, hey man, you're like 28 years old. Why do you want to do this? You make more money right now, hang in the corporate world, do it as a hobby. I remember running after one of our biggest news anchors in England called Jon Snow. And he rides a bike around London, but he's huge. He's on Channel 4, one of the biggest broadcasters for us. And so I run after him when he's on his bike, and I'm like, John, please stop. And he stops, he's really kind. I say, John, can you please give me a job? I don't even want to get paid. I'll just watch you. And because he creates these powerful documentaries. He's interviewed the best of the best, like Mandela and all this stuff, life-changing conversations. And he goes to me, he gives me a card and he goes, Jay, go get a master's in media and then come back. And I'm thinking,
I've spent 2-3 more years.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to go back. Anyway, so I came to a point where I literally had no other option than to start a YouTube channel. And my honest limiting belief at the time was that doesn't work for anyone. And that's what I said to myself. I was like, it's not going to work for anyone. But I literally had exhausted. I think it's Thomas Edison who says, when you feel you've exhausted every option, remember you haven't. Mm. And I'd come to that point where I felt I'd exhausted every option apart from starting a YouTube channel. So I launched the channel Jan 3rd, 2016, 2 years ago, and it's doing pretty well.
Never give up is the best and the worst advice you can ever give an entrepreneur. The trick is knowing how to use it. If you love what you're doing if you can't imagine life without this thing that you're creating, even if it's not working out yet, you're not getting the results yet, it's not where you want it to be yet, but you need to know. It's this thing inside you that has to come out. You need to know if it's gonna work or not. You could deal with the failure, but you can't deal with not knowing. If that's where you're at with your idea, with your business, then you have to keep going. Then you can't quit. Then you have to find out, because otherwise it's gonna eat you up for the rest of your life. If that's where you're at, then you must find a way to keep going, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if you have to take on part-time jobs, even if you fail in front of everybody. You have to keep going, because the regret at age 90, looking back on your life, the regret will be enormous. That's how most people live. Most people spend their entire life regretting the things that they didn't do. Go look at a retirement home, go talk to your grandparents or great-grandparents, and a lot of them will be filled with regret. I wish I did this. I wish I took my shot. I wish I had the courage. I wish I had the bravery to keep going. If that's what you're worried about, then you must not give up and find a way to keep going. That's when it's good advice. Here's where it's bad advice. I think people stay in things for too long as well. I think people stay in their business for too long. I think people stay in their relationships for too long. People stay with things because it's comfortable, because they know it, because they recognize it, because it's safe, because it's helping generate some money. They stay in the wrong thing for too long. If you are in the wrong thing, then quit immediately. I can't tell you how many entrepreneurs I come across who've had some level of success. Maybe they're not crushing it, but they've had some level of success. And then they start to hate their business. They start to get bored of their business because they never evolved, because they grew as a human being, but their business didn't grow alongside it. And you keep getting stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again, day in and day out, and you start to hate your business. And you feel like you have to stay in this company because you should never give up on it. No, quit. Get out of that thing. Either change, either adjust what you're gonna be doing, like come up with a new product, come up with a new service, make some tweaks, or if it's just so far away from what you're interested in now, then quit. Try to sell the business if there's a way out, and if not, just abandon ship and go do something else, because this is the most important part right here, this part right now. You will never win doing work that you hate. You will never win, you will never have success, you will never get the goals that you want doing work that you hate, because the people who love doing that work will always crush you. You can have the most talent, the most skills, the most resources in the world, but if you do not love the work, if you do not love the process, you will get crushed, you will get demolished by the people who love it, and you will never be happy. You will always be a junior version of somebody else. And so you have to find the thing that you are so dead in love with. It's why finding your passion, doing the thing that you love, is consistently the number one most important rule that comes up over and over and over and over again in these videos, not because I'm sharing it, because all these people who've had success are sharing it. And so you will never win doing work that you hate. If you are loving the work that you're doing, if you have to find out if this is gonna work or not, then you can never quit. Then you can never give up. Then you have to see it through, at least to know. You could deal with the failure, but you cannot deal with not knowing. But if you don't love what you're doing, if you don't love the thing anymore, then quit immediately. Move on, adjust, find something else, and know that there's something great for you out there. And that's why never quit is the best and the worst advice that you can ever give an entrepreneur.
If I could count the amount of times I was told no, it would amount to, it was way too many times. And it made being told yes that much better. And so I created the mentality in my head of taking no as no, not right now, not no, this isn't for you. So no didn't have a period, it had a ... And so if I'd given up after the first time I'd said no, I wouldn't be here. And so it just, not letting someone dictate your future. If you believe in something so strongly and you want to do something so strongly, who's going to tell you to not do it? So that was, adapting that kind of allowed me to take a lot of pressure off too.
Why the point of having a SEAL live with you? This book's called Living with a SEAL, 31 Days, Training with the Toughest Man on the Planet. And I watched a few videos on this guy. He's a freak. But why did you decide to have him live with you?
When he first moved in, he comes into the house and he has a little knapsack for 30 days. If I go away for 30 days, I'm checking 2 bags.
Yeah.
He has this little Huck Finn
for 30 days knapsack with all his clothes and everything, and
his whole life in the bag. And I said to him, his name is David Goggins, so if you're listening and you know him or you want to Google him, I said in the book I referred to him as Seal, but now, you know, he's out there. So he came to the house and I said to him, you know, hey, here's your room, you know, I'll show you around, make yourself at home. And, you know, my home is your home for the next 30 days. And he said, no. He said, I don't have a home. And I said, no, make yourself at home. It's an expression. And he said, I don't operate in expressions.
Wow.
And that was sort of like, okay, let's start. So that was kind of our opening act.
No settling in, no, yeah.
And then we went down to the gym 5 minutes into our 31-day journey. And he said, I want to see how many pull-ups you can do. So I said, all right. So I guess to kind of get a level of like where I was at. And I am not a strong guy. So I did maybe 8 pull-ups, and then I dropped down, and he said, all right, wait 30 seconds and do it again. Do it again. So I waited 30 seconds, got back up on the bar. I did like 6. He said, all right, one more time. And now like I'm starting to feel it. You know, like I don't think I can even get back up on the bar. And I get 3, but 3 like, you know, kicking, getting my chin over, like whatever I could do to get over the bar. So I said, all right, what's next? He said, what's next is we're going to stay here till you do 100 more.
Oh my gosh.
And I said,
you're doing one at a time, essentially.
Yeah, and I'm like, come on, man. Like that's great on paper, but I physically can't do 100 more. And that was our start of many lessons that I learned, because I ended up doing it one at a time. And what he taught me was that so many of our limitations are self-imposed, you know, and we set something up in our brain. We program our brain one way, and that's our limit. And until we can get past that and see what we're really made of and like get uncomfortable and experience pain, you don't really know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
So that was a really good lesson for me. And every day was a lesson like that.
If you ever felt like there were times where you wanted to quit, or that music wasn't necessarily for you, like you didn't have faith in what you were doing?
Yeah, hell no.
That's good.
Hell no. Because quitting is never an option.
But have there been times where you've maybe felt like, you talked about being misunderstood before, have there been times where you've maybe felt like people weren't understanding it, and then that frustration leads you to maybe not want to continue on that path?
That's the shit that get me going. That type of shit right there. Not being accepted is like my whole driver. Like, people not f***ing with me. I just want to prove a point that I'm not as bad as, I just want to know what you don't f*** with, you know, and that's always helpful information. And I get that advice to everybody. Like, if you feel like quitting is the thing, just channel the quitting to like that extra pump, that second win.
Have you ever done a trick that didn't work?
Almost every single one.
in front of people? Like,
no,
failed, something that failed.
Well, the good news about doing magic is, and I think like rappers too, it's like you never know where the end is, because it's up to him. So it's you can keep improvising and going. So there's never a failure unless you quit. So if you keep going, there's not a failure. You just keep changing and moving.
I am not here for me today. I'm here for every one of you all, because I kept going, because I knew the day would come when one day I would be standing before a group of children and tell them, regardless of what happens to you in life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trial and tribulation, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you. No situation, no circumstance, no piece of adversity can define your life. Never let a circumstance define you. You see, I know something about you. I can speak from a certain place. I know something about you without even knowing you. I know if you wanted to come into this school and do what you have to do, you can do it. I know if you wanted to go into a classroom and get straight A's, you can do it. I know if you wanted to go to college, you can do it. I know that you can become whatever it is that you want to become. But it's like that quote, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You see, I can tell you all the right things. I can stand up here and say a presentation, but if you walk out of these doors and you don't apply it to your life, what good was it? You see, I'm not so concerned with, you having dreams, you having goals. I'm concerned with the process. Because a lot of people want the prize, but not many people want the process. A lot of people have the will to win, but few people have the will to prepare to win. The process is more important than the product. The process is more important than the product. And what the process is coming into this building day after day, giving everything you got and molding yourself into the individual that you need to become in order to make those things happen. You know the reason you set goals? The reason you set goals and the reason you have dreams is not for the outcome. The reason you set goals and the reason you have dreams is to become the person that you need to become in order to make them manifest in your life. You see, young people, the road to success is constantly under construction. with plenty of potholes, with plenty of speed bumps, with plenty of detours, with plenty of parking spots to give up. But just as if you were in a car with your mother, you find a way to get over that speed bump, you find a way to get around that pothole, you find a way to get to that detour. The only thing about life, that destination may be that goal or that dream or whatever it is that you aspire to do with your life. The one thing that I can tell you right now, man, I'm not anything special, but the one thing I can guarantee you, young people, and I'm gonna leave you with this: if you don't give up, if you don't stop, if you don't give in, nothing will defeat you, and nothing will conquer you, and nothing will stop. Never give up, never stop, never doubt yourself. You always believe, there's always hope, there's always somebody inside you that's stronger than anything that life can throw at you.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip from Tom Bilyeu on how to allow yourself to dream that I think you're going to really enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Time to move from just watching another video to taking action in your life or in your business. And if you're feeling bold, leave the answer to these questions in the comments below. Here we go. Question number 1. What dream are you not willing to quit on? Number 2. When you doubt yourself, what will you do? And number 3, who can hold you accountable to your commitment?
Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the person with all the facts. H. Jackson Brown. Truer words have never been spoken. It is one of the most interesting things about the human condition that all of the facts in the world, no matter how true something may objectively really be, the only thing that matters is whether or not you've got the energy to see through to the end of what you want to do. And the energy comes not from truth. The energy comes from your dream. The energy comes from what it is that you want to do. The energy ultimately is born out of what you want to create. It's born out of a willingness to allow yourself to dream. It's born out of a willingness to think that you actually can do it. It's born out of a willingness to take that first step. But the only reason that you're going to take that first step is you believe that you can actually make your dreams come true. And that sense of this thing that you have in your mind, that you can make it real, that you can bring it into the real world and have that excitement that you've long fantasized about and understand and really feel in your gut, that thing that you've dreamed about can be real. And when you have that, that's when you're going to have the energy that you need to push and to fight and to go through all of the difficult things that you're going to have to get on the other side and make that dream real. As Ferdinand Foch said, the most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. But the human soul can't be on fire without a dream. A human soul is not fed by facts. A human soul is fed instead by a belief that it can accomplish what it wants to accomplish. It's fed by that thing, that idea that you've had in your mind, that you fanned those flames of interest and turned it into a real fascination and fanned those flames further into excitement and allowed yourself to truly embody that belief that you can make it happen. So right now, whatever it is, whatever crazy dream you have, and we all have one, stop judging yourself for it. Stop telling yourself that you can't do it, and understand when you cultivate that fire, when you take that little ember and you fan it into a raging inferno, that thing, that human soul on fire is what's going to allow you to build something that the world has never seen before. But it starts with that dream. It starts with your willingness to cultivate that, to think about it, to allow yourself to do that, because so many people stop themselves. They think they're inadequate. They think that they could never do it. And even if that is a fact, it's not something that's going to help you live a life that excites you. It's not something that's going to help you excite other people. The one thing that will do that is the dream. So right now, allow yourself that, simply to dream.
So let me give you the one-word secret to happiness. One word. This is all you need to be happy.
The most important word ever.
If you had to think of one word that's most important to you, or that sums you up, or that would be kind of like a little beacon.
If you want to learn from Eric Thomas on how to develop discipline to pursue your dreams, check out the video right next to me. I think you're going to enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Many of you are getting distracted because you don't have something that's stronger than a distraction. Shut the TV down. Listen to me.